I was diagnosed with cancer last year and I was having difficulty getting services through Social Security.
I really try to forget the past and the domestic violence. If I talk about it, it just makes me cry.
Over 6 million New Yorkers live on incomes at or below poverty level, many of them the victims of the worst economic recession since the Great Depression. Nearly 3 million of these low-income New Yorkers found themselves in need of civil legal services this past year, but were unable to afford a lawyer. Fortunately, Legal Services NYC is completely dedicated to seeking justice for low-income New Yorkers, as well as fighting poverty through a combination of direct legal representation, political advocacy, and community outreach and education.
At the Legal Services offices in all the 5 boroughs, we represent indigent clients in all types of civil legal services cases: housing, family law, domestic violence, immigration, health and government benefits, disability.
Legal Services citywide had received some funds to reach out to the veteran population in the city. We had found that it's an underserved population. They have very specific legal needs. And so here, specifically in the Bronx, we developed a relationship with the Bronx VA, the Veterans Administration, to be on site directly, to receive referrals, and to meet with those veterans in a place where they're comfortable at the VA hospital.
Once I got diagnosed with cancer, public assistance told me that I must work, and I obviously couldn't. And that's where they started to represent me.
He needed time to go to his doctor's appointments, was recovering from chemo, was not able to do what they were asking him to do, and they were trying to essentially cut his benefits because he wasn't able to do these outrageous requirements.
It was the worst experience I've ever had in my life. Things were just getting worse financially, rent was falling far behind.
Oftentimes clients come with a particular issue that they think needs attention without realizing that they actually have other legal issues, and we identify that for them. And in Nicole's case, that's what happened. She came to us essentially with a domestic violence issue, and we identified that she really had an immigration issue. And we had to enlist sign language interpreters and work with our language access program, which we have in the office.
I was a victim of domestic violence. I had no papers. I had no job. And I needed some help.
You don't want to see the person that you love being hurt by anyone or by anything, so it was definitely a lot of pressure for me.
Nicole was somebody who very easily could have fallen through the cracks. She didn't know because of the language access issue and the fact that she had essentially been kept in her brother's home for 20 years. She had no real contact with the outside world and a daughter who was gone and no longer her support.
You ready? It's gonna swing.
Legal Services NYC does the legal aspect of it, and at least they'll go with you to court. I personally don't know of other services that do that.
So we did receive a favorable fair hearing decision for Mr. Camacho, which got him an exemption for a year's time, which is great. So he has time to recover from his cancer and deal with some of his medical issues before having to be subject to the work requirements.
She was getting help in terms of not only just her domestic violence case, but also her immigration status through Legal Services.
She was able to come in and tell us her entire story and have us believe it and support her.
It was a lot of work, but I received a lot of benefit.
She is not undocumented anymore. She has legal status, she has an authority to work, and that has turned her into a free person.
She's definitely grown into this remarkably strong person, and I definitely commend her. I'm really proud of her.
As a layperson, you may not realize how much an attorney can affect the life of a poor person, but you could really transform somebody's life by saving their apartment, by making sure that they get the benefits that they're entitled to.
Legal Services NYC needs you to help us make a difference in the lives of our most vulnerable people and communities. Visit LegalServicesNYC.org and click on Get Involved to see how you can support Legal Services NYC in our mission to provide real solutions to the real problems facing low-income New Yorkers.
I mean, we won our case, but in the end, it wasn't just winning the case for me that I walked away happy, but the fact that she was really for me. It wasn't just, oh, I just want to win. It's just, I want to do the right thing.
Words honestly can't even express the gratitude I have right now, so it's great knowing that there are people out there to support, not even just my mom specifically, but people all over.
I'm so happy now.